All right. We are live. Had to double check on YouTube. How's everyone doing tonight? My name is Spencer, and welcome to Best Ball Draft Addicts. I am on a journey to Maxville, the Dinger contest, and inviting everyone along with me to have some fun and talk about some drafts together. Tonight, I've got one of my good friends, Blake Edwards, joining me. Blake, this will be his second time on the show. He also did it with me back on January 20th. And without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Blake in. Blake, how's it going?
Hey, man, how's it going? It's going to be a fun night.
It's going to be a good night. Absolutely.
Sure.
I'm ready. I am ready for this. Now, today has been a crazy day, has it not, in baseball?
It's been pretty wild.
Dude.
Pitchers and catchers, we're smelling leather, watching pitchers that can throw from both sides, throw bullpen sessions. It's fantastic.
Well, some would say it's fantastic. Others would say today was absolutely terrible. So
it depends who you root for.
So I want to run through a few things from today. Okay. So all of this we found out today. First off, Spencer Schwellenbach, he's going to be out for a long time, starting the year on the 60-day IL. That's great. I've got 20% shares of him. So that's just lovely. We also found out that Shane Bieber is going to start the year on the IL, but that's not a surprise. Francisco Lindor is hurt. He might be back by the start of the season. He's not going to play in the WBC. Who really knows? Reese Olson, done for the season. Did you see that one?
I missed Reese Olson's news.
Yeah. So, and part of that, a free agent signed with Detroit, Mr. Justin Verlander. So Verlander is essentially, I want to say, taking Reese Olson's spot, but kind of. And then Anthony Santander, he's hurt. He's going to miss, what did it say, 5 to 6 months? That's basically his season ruined. So, there's been all sorts of craziness today. And this is day one of pitchers and catchers. So, who knows? Who knows? This is just a preview for all of the chaos that we are about to assume over the next 6 weeks waiting for the season. But I can't wait. I love it.
Well, and not that it's necessarily a huge impact thing, but I just saw another piece of news that just came out. It looks like about an hour ago. In addition to Shane Bieber and Santander, Bowden Francis is going to go under Tommy John, done for the year.
Yeah, I didn't even bother to mention that since we weren't even looking at Francis. But yes, that also is a thing. So no Bowden Francis. But your boy Tomoyuki Saganu signed with the Rockies. You going to draft him tonight?
No, I won't.
That's probably
he gives up too many fly balls for Coors Field for me.
I'd say so. He probably gives too many fly balls just to be a major league pitcher. But well, here we are.
Hey, it's going to be fun to watch. Somebody's going to have a good time hitting against him.
It will be. It will be. So let me get the chat on here. See Joe. What's up, Joe? How's it going, my friend? So we're not going to wait too much longer, and we're going to go jump in a dinger. But before we do, I was telling you, Blake, about this new Best Ball Exposures website and I want to show you real quick and kind of, we talked about this on the last stream, but for anyone who didn't see it, and I'll drop a link. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that right now. I'll drop a link for this in the chat for everyone. Let me do that as we speak here. All right, there it is. So check this out, Blake. All right. Can you see?
I can, yeah.
All right. So first off, what we're on, this is under the portfolio tab. Now, look at this. I can break this down between all the different slates. Let's say I want to go just for the dinger since that's what we're about to draft. So check this out. I've done 73. Tonight will be my 74th dinger. Out of that, look at how many times I've got the different picks and look at how many pick ones I've had. 12 pick ones, 8 pick twos, 9 pick threes. So it's crazy how often I've been picking up here compared to down here. But really, the middle is where I'm lacking the most. And that affects my shares. I mean, positively or negatively, it is what it is. You can only draft who's available to you. But look over here. Here's all my builds. So you see the majority of the time I do 7-7-6 build, 6-7-7 after that. Then I have 8 pitcher builds, and then I'm starting to mix in some 7-6-7s. I want to do more of those. You can go through, you can see all of your top stacks. So, all of my top stacks are
your top 2 stacks are you're pretty Toronto heavy.
I'm Toronto heavy whenever it comes to stacks. Yes, I am. Toronto's my favorite team to stack. And thankfully, Anthony Santander is not one that really hurts me. So I can go to main slate here, move my fees, and then let's go check out Santander. So I've taken Santander from the main slate 3 times. Look at this. This tells me each time that I've taken him. So there's a dinger, a bunt 2, and another dinger. Isn't this awesome? By the way,
that's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet.
Here's like the way too early slate. So I only took him 4 times there. So thankfully, I'm very low exposed. But the times that I did, he was stacked. However, I only was taking Santander because of the Blue Jays. But I mean, this tool is incredible. This is one of my favorite things right here, the ADP board. So I can go switch this to the dinger. This is the live ADP. And look, you can see exactly my percent of each of the picks along in the ADP. Isn't this something else? I mean,
that's pretty interesting. And you got an interesting mix of guys there too.
I sure do. And you notice, look at this. This is an interesting pattern right here. This like crossways pattern of 20%ers or Skeens who's close to it. But I'm definitely not afraid to go Skeens, Crochet, and Scooble. But you see, I mean, I'd take Vlad. I need to get some more Jordan. This tells me Jordan I need more. I'd like to get some more of these guys. Again, I'm not getting a whole lot of these middle picks. And you see when I do in the first round, I tend to go Schwarber. But yeah, this is just a super interesting tool. It's free. Anyone can do this. Look at this. Again, I'm going to go to Dinger. We're going to get started in just a second. But look, this is my percent of entry fees. So this is like how much money I have invested in every team. So you see the Blue Jays, and then as I hover over, it shows me how much money in the dinger I have in each Blue Jays player. So Okamoto and Varsho.
Is he your number 1 drafted right now?
He is. Yep. If I go back over here and change that to main slate, yeah, Okamoto 34.6%. He's just down there so often when I'm looking down there late. Let's go down to where he is on the ADP board, change that back to dinger.
Yeah, 16.
And right here, round 16. And a lot of times I can get him in the 17. He's starting to move up. He used to even go in the 18. But this is an incredible tool. And again, I don't want to spend too much time, but I could not recommend this more. This is just so awesome. So awesome. But Blake, do you have Underdog pulled up?
I do.
All right. Now, let's see who all's in the chat here. It was real quick while everyone's get a chance to get Underdog pulled up. So Joe says, is that guy Aiden doing the Sweating Dingers website again this year? That's a good question. I don't know. And we'll have to ask the Stacking Dingers guys about that. Brad says influencer picks. Hey, what can I say? I don't know. It's the luck of the draw. And then Joe says, can only do on a computer. I do all my drafts on phone, no computer. Thank goodness I stayed mostly away from Santander, 13% Schwelly. Search Otani and see how you pair him. Ooh, let me do that real quick, Brad. So let's go to Otani. Yeah, this is a great. Brad pointed this out on Twitter earlier. That you can search. This is a new tool that's been added. You see, you checking this out, Blake?
Yeah.
So for every Shohei team, you can see how often I mix people in with him. Oh, man. But there was a Shohei team where I was able to get Rooker and Kurtz back at the beginning. Oh, that was nice. That'll never happen again. Look where their ADPs are at now. But like Scooble fell to 1, fell on this turn. I mean, I definitely have gone Skeens and Crochet a good amount. Jaron Duran. I'm surprised so much. Ooh, see, this is great because this points out my deficiencies. Look at this. 0 Pete Alonso with Otani. That needs to be changed. 0 Wyatt Langford with Otani. That needs to be changed. So this is something that tonight's my draft number 74, so I'm almost halfway through. So for my second half of the Dinger contest, I can use this tool a whole lot more to help me kind of, fine tune some of my picks so that I'm not overstacking the same people over and over with the same guys. You see, like right here, I noticed, like, you see, Teoscar 28% with Otani. And if I went to Teoscar on his own, he's 6.8%. And of the main slate, 5.3%. But he stacks 73% of the time. So all of those are those Shohei stacks. But yeah, man, just absolutely love this. All right,
that's super interesting.
Okay. Now, I see that some people had said to jump in and then back out. Let me see where we're at right now. Okay, we're at 5 more to start, guys. So if everyone wants to jump on in, why don't we jump in and let's fill this thing quick. I see Dave Isaacs on here. Dave, one of my buddies. How's it going, Dave? Glad to see you in here with us tonight. Go ahead and jump in the draft right now in the Dinger. We've got 2 more, one more, and we are going to be starting. Let me go ahead and get the ADP off here, and let's go bring in Underdog. Draft starts soon. All right.
Nice. Let's see if I can get lucky and get one of those early picks.
Okay. So Brad did. He got pick number 2. I got pick number 5. I see Joe at 1-6. Oh, I'm not surprised. TK11 at 1-7. Blake at 1-12. And Dave, are you in here? I'm not seeing you in here, Dave. Dave, if you missed this one, well, maybe you can get in after on the next one. But all right, we are filled and we are going to get this thing going. Let me get this added to stage. Pull the draft board up here. All right. So Blake, you got the sweet, sweet turn at pick number 12. Now, you drafted with me back on January 20th. This is just your second Dinger since then, right?
Yeah, it is.
So what pick did you have back on that draft?
If I go back and look, I believe I had the 5.
Brad says that Shilly and Jordan are probably in here too. So if you guys are in here, how's it going, guys? Glad to have you in. I'm going back to make sure I didn't miss any comments. Okay. Where are you sitting at, Blake?
Do what now?
What did you get? What did you say?
Oh, the 4. The 4.
You got the 4 before. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So this is going to be your first 12. Okay, now this is going to be an easy pick for me because this is an interesting draft. Look at this, Blake. Judge went 1 tonight in honor of you and your Yankees hat. Mr. Judge at pick number 1. Brad gets Shohei at 2. And Matt with Otani, and then Schwarber goes 4. Again, one of my most popular picks here in the middle. So I'm going to take this opportunity to grab Mr. Ronald Acuna. And I'm going to go back over to my Dinger exposures and see. Now, I did have 8.2%. So if I really wanted to mix it up, I could have gone Bobby Witt or Corbin Carroll. But I'm not going to do that over Acuna because as much as it's nice to diversify shares, I mean, Ronald Acuna, would any of us be shocked if he was back to the number 1? No, not at all. And Brad's like, I will never get Judge. You won't. He was just talking the other day about not having any Judge shares. He gets picked 2 tonight and then blocked. And then TK11, how's it going, buddy? Glad to have you.
I feel that pain, Brad.
Oh man. Well, Blake, it is now your pick at the 1-2 turn. What are you looking at, sir?
Well, so I'm still a pick away. So I got to see if I get no, that's not going to affect me any. So I'm going to do something kind of wild, different than what I've done before, and I'm going to go with some youth and some excitement. Uh, I'm going to go back to back infield, which is not something I normally do,
Uh-huh.
but these two guys are there, and I like them a lot.
Well,
Which
buddy.
is
Yep.
Ellie, and Nick Kurtz, and I can sit back and I don't have to reach or take infield for a while now, and I can sit there and focus on outfield and pitching now for the next several picks.
Yeah, absolutely. Outfield in particular, of course, but yeah, 100%. I love that. And with you not doing a lot of these lineups, how much do you take into account, like trying to do something that you think is a little bit different than what people normally do? Much of anything to have differentiation, or are you just like, nah, I just like the pair, not kind of worry about what other people are doing?
No, I mean, there's a little bit of both of that. I mean, I wanted to do something different that I figure a lot of people haven't done, just to give myself some originality there. But also, I just really like those two guys. I think both of those guys are slated to have a big, big season.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, and Nick Kurtz is definitely one that a lot of people, love talking about back and forth one way or another. Is he worth it? Is he not? Personally, I've been in the camp from the get go that he's going to be worth it. Even though I don't draft him a ton, that's not because I don't like him. I mean, I feel more confident in Vlad because I've seen Vlad be good for years and I know how good Vlad is. But I think that Kurtz's upside brings him right into play. Okay, now I am going to consult my shares thing here, and for the first one, I got Acuna. So let me put Acuna in here. So I take Gunner normally as my normal pick here. I have not taken James Wood with Acuna yet. Boom, there's my
Oh,
answer.
you should.
So thanks to this, so I've taken Gunner with Acuna 33% of the time, Kurt 16, Churio 16, and Lindor 16. So and Vlad 16. So those are all the guys that I pick with him, and I had not done James Wood yet. So now I've got James Wood. All right.
I can't hear you say that without thinking of Family Guy.
Of Family Guy, I know. I didn't want to sing the song, but I think about it too. I would love if I had the clip. I could just like insert the clip in of Peter Griffin singing that.
Right.
One of these days, maybe we'll get there. So at pick one, he went with Crochet and Pete Crow Armstrong with his judge share. Brad went with Roman Anthony at the end of the two, and then Pete Alonso at the three. Now let's see what Jordan does. He goes Cal Raleigh. So now back to me. So again, I'm going to consult my board, and Matt Olson is who makes sense from stacking purposes. I have not taken Jaron Duran with Acuna though. So Jaron Duran it is. I'm going to kind of play with this during this team here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what combinations you put together as we go along with that.
Yeah, it really will, because I'm still want to take people that I like and that I draft normally. I'm not going crazy. It's just people that I haven't drafted with Acuna. And then Joe says, I'd be shocked if I've been picking Judge one. Yeah. So Judge, I think he deserves to go one just fine. I've talked about before from myself. The reason why I take Ohtani one so much is because, well, I look at, I'm only going to get the one so often, and I have the same odds to get the two. So I take Ohtani when I get the one, Judge when I get the two. But as we move into my final 50 drafts, so from 100 and on, Blake, I do have it planned that if I'm still not getting very much Judge compared to Ohtani, I will start taking Judge over Ohtani to try and bring those percents back closer together.
I mean, I don't blame you. I would be taking, as you know, I'm really, really big on Judge. I would take him over Ohtani half the time, probably. but I say that as someone that hasn't gotten a 1 or a 2. So
I was gonna say, I mean, I do it
it's easy for
100%
me to
of the
say.
time, but okay. So we're coming back to you now. What are you looking at here? I'm assuming you're looking at going outfield, but is there
Yep.
anything else you're looking at changing up?
No, because I got a couple guys in my queue here, and if they both make them to me and one of them won't, I plan on double tapping outfield here and building that up. Now, there's some interesting choices here, and I'm going to just kind of roll with it because one of them's a good stack piece. Since I have Kurtz, I'm going to lock up Soderstrom.
Mm-hmm. I was
And
wondering
then
if you were looking at that.
somebody that we just talked about the other night that could have a huge year this year in a new ballpark. I'm going to pair him with Taylor Ward.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that quite a bit. I'm a Taylor Ward guy. I've been drafting him pretty much not every time I can, but I've been getting him a lot. Joe says he's just not an Ohtani guy. Joe, I didn't know it was possible to not be an Ohtani guy, but you know what? Hey, I appreciate you staying strong and let's rock Judge. I'm nothing wrong with that. I love Aaron Judge too. Blake, don't forget, I want to tell the Aaron Judge draft champion story later. Okay.
Yeah, that's a hard one to live down.
Yeah, I want to bring that up later. TK Evans says 11.5% Schwelly, 7.7 Santander. Could be worse, I guess. Brad says Santander can kick rocks. Yankees tomorrow. Can't wait for the Rodon had surgery news. Oh Lord. Garrett Cole setback. He'll be out for the year now. Just wait for it.
Don't put that juju out in the world.
Oh, I know. I shouldn't have. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
That's right. I got too many shares of Garrett Cole to be accepting that.
Okay, so it's back to me. This is round 4. So looks like my normal pick here is actually Yelich. I have not taken Springer with Acuna. I've not taken Betts with Acuna. Let's go.
There's some big names out there.
Let's go Betts. Yeah,
I like it.
I don't take a ton of bets. Let's look at bets in general.
You want to make a bets?
Bets in general, I'm at let's see. I'm at 8.8% in the dinger. That's not bad. It's not great. Schwellenbach, by the way, I am at 22% of the main slate. That's great. And Santander, as I already talked about, not much, thankfully. But, the thing with Schwellenbach, I've talked about this. We've mentioned it, I think, in ours. I know I've mentioned it multiple times on stream, but 74 dingers, by the way, TK11. But, for the most part, it's good to stay away from guys that have pre-existing injuries. And for the most part, I've been doing that. I've been trying to, I've drafted very little Zach Wheeler. I've drafted very little Rodon, very little Cole. Almost had none of them until I went through my 50 drafts exposure. Joe's at 66. Joe, you've been right with me as we've been going through this whole thing. Me and you are lockstep and barrel. I'm like a 2 per day right now. But anyway, with Schwellenbach, gosh dang it. It's my pick. Hold on. Uno momento, por favor. Let me go pull up Acuna back real quick. This is... All right, round 5. Man, I don't ever draft Yamamoto, and this is a pretty decent fall. I really want Machado. I'm going to go Yamamoto. Let's go Yamamoto. I really don't do that often. That's not the smartest thing, but I'm going to do it. Let's get Yamamoto on a team.
He's so good.
He is so good. We've talked about the reasons why I don't do it. But back to Schwellenbach real quick. Why I've been willing to dive in and draft Schwellenbach. Well, one, he's had a good price this whole time, so it's not been too high of an ADP for his potential return. But also, he had fractured his elbow, and whenever I thought that he was hit by a comebacker and that's how he had a fractured elbow. But actually, his fractured elbow was from throwing, and he threw and like fractured his elbow from throwing. So if I would have really put that together from the get go of draft season, maybe I would have been better. But one thing I will say is, before I finish this Schwellenbach thought again, your pick, Blake.
Yep.
So you're at
I'm
a
torn on one of them.
0-2.
One of the picks I have pretty well locked down on what I'm planning on doing here, because I mean I like Altuve, so Altuve is going to be one of those two.
I like Altuve, yeah.
But I'm really torn between pitcher and outfield 4, and I don't want to fall that far back at pitching. So I'm gonna, in honor of Team USA, Logan Webb, come on home.
He's coming home. So, and I love that. I love Logan Webb, of course. So, what was I saying about Schwellenbach? Oh yeah. So his injury. So with it being fractured from throwing, that should have been a good tell to be like, okay, still lay back on him. Just be like a sub 10%, like a 6 or 7% instead of a 20% owned guy. That was the sign, but I just didn't read the injury room properly. It is what it is. It happens. But I will say this, Blake, I looked. So out of my 40 gladiators that I drafted starting back at the beginning of November, I didn't draft Schwellenbach on any of them. And I had an 18% Hurston Waldrip. So that should hopefully help boost him up to be more secured. So that was good for me. And then back over here to the comments. So Dave says, I'm so scared of any Dodgers. I hear you, Dave, but not me. I'll draft the Dodgers. I'm not scared. Joe says, yeah, they're an aging team. This is very true. And then Brad says,
Brad, I'm not actually a Yankee fan. I'm rocking the hat in honor of Captain America, Aaron Judge. I'm a Judge fan. But I totally get it.
I just can't help myself. This is so, again, I'm going to get burned. There are some times that I know I'm going to get burned and I'm fine with being burned. This is one of those instances. I'm still rocking a over 20% Mike Trout. I'm just talking about all this stuff with Schwellenbach. I'm just wait for the Mike Trout injury news to come. It's going to happen.
Hey, now that was who I was torn on. That was who I was debating between going Trout and Logan Webb, just to add Trout to that outfield.
Was it? Yeah. I mean, I just can't help myself. I mean, it's Mike Trout. It's Mike Trout. I just can't help it. I have to now. When I reach my second 75, I got to bring my Trout percent down. I'm almost there. One more draft, I could take Trout, and then I got to start cutting myself off and drafting other people. But let me go back because I didn't even look to see. Yeah, I had Trout on 27% of Acuna team, so I should have mixed it up from that standpoint. But it's all right. It's all right. Joe says, I don't know what the Mets are doing. And a Met fan, New York represent. Oh, Joe's a Yankees fan and a Met fan, so he likes both the Yankees and the Mets. So he's rocking the New York right there with you. Joe, I've seen you get some McLean and some Cam Schlittler. That makes a lot more sense. Although I take both of those and I'm not a New York fan, so but
I mean, I stay pretty connected to New York, though. I listen to a lot of Michael K. So
you love
I stay connected.
K.
I do. Michael K is outstanding. He's just outstanding. He tells good stories.
Joe, do you listen to Michael K? Blake loves him. We've known each other for 10 years. We've been friends for 10 years. Going on 12 years now.
Yeah.
And I think you've been listening to Michael K the whole time that I know you.
Oh, I'm positive of that. Yeah. Yep. That's one of my go-to podcasts.
So I could go with the other New York guy. We've been talking about the Mets. I could go with Lou Bob. Dave Isaac says K's a top 3 guy in the business.
I would agree, Dave.
Blake, I can't help myself. This is so again. I'll get hurt when I get hurt. It is what it is. I have 27% of Sale with Acuna, but I'm still going to do it and pair them up again. Those last two, Sale and Trout, those were like Acuna chalk picks, I guess you would say. And then that lines up for me to get Jacob Marcy as my next chalk pick. Let's see if the room stops that from happening. All right. It would be nice. Then I'm not forced to take another Marcy share. All right. So Joe just grabbed him some Vinny P, another one that I think about all the time. TK11 got the Lou Bob. So what are the Mets doing? I don't know, but I don't hate what the Mets have done, to be honest with you. I mean, it's weird. It's definitely weird. They've had a weird offseason. Like it kicked off with the Nemo Simeon trade, like weirdness. But I don't hate it either. Like Jorge Polanco was a weird signing. Like
that almost
they
makes
signed
me
Jorge
think
Polanco, and it's like, why
the
did they
Lindor
do
thing
that?
ahead of time?
I don't know about that. Maybe, but at least I don't think Lindor. Hopefully Lindor won't actually miss any time in the regular season. What you looking at, Blake? New York Met Bo Bichette, which also is one they did for spite. They drafted him for spite, or signed him. Don't take Santander.
So that's weird. It's not letting me.
Oh no. Okay, you got autoed, but it was Max Fried.
No, so luckily I had guys in the queue, but it
back
won't
out
let
and
me
go back in. Back out and go back in. You got 17 seconds.
Yeah. Luckily, I think I already know what I'm going to do here.
10 seconds.
And I'm going to gamble.
It happens every once in a while.
I'm going to gamble.
You're going to gamble? Who are you gambling on?
Jacob deGrom.
Oh, okay. So another one of the Spence boys. Yeah, go for it, buddy. I love it. Again, it's a great price. So Joe says, so who plays more now that Santander is done? In my book, my first thing that came to my mind was Addison Barger, one of the guys that I picked more. That was my first thing that came to my mind. Brad says Barger maybe against lefties, some terrible platoon guys. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. They have there's Nathan Lukes. Let me go pull up their team real quick, their depth chart, and see who else. But that was the first thing that whenever I saw that news, I was like, oh, that helps my Addison Barger shares. Let's see. Yeah, there's Davis Schneider still, Miles Straw. They don't honestly have a great bench. And they really, I think that it almost solidifies Barger. They've got Barger projected to be the cleanup hitter. I don't know if that will happen or not. We'll see. But nonetheless, I've been kind of in on Barger and just kind of not worried about his potential platoon risk. But yeah, Miles Straw.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, Leo Jimenez. Yeah. Brad.
That makes me think that they're all. That makes me think they're a candidate for a trade or a free agent signing there before spring's done.
Yeah, I could see that. So I just went ahead and grabbed me some Geno. I love getting some Geno there. Let's go check out what his Acuna. Eugenio Suarez. Where are you at? 0%. Good. I didn't have him with Acuna. Now I do.
I like that.
Oh, Brad says Grichuk. Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that because I've not really thought about them making a move to replace him. That thought hadn't gone through my mind yet. But Grichuk, it makes a lot of sense because Grichuk ain't done. Speaking of someone who doesn't want to be done, who I don't think that they would, but maybe McCutchen, since he's not going to go back to Pittsburgh now, or at least most likely not going to go back to Pittsburgh now that they signed Ozuna. That's happened since we drafted the other day. Ozuna is also someone who, Blake, I have not been drafting at all this whole time. And I've been talking this whole offseason about, man, is he hit a cliff? Will he not be good anymore? That question still exists.
Sure.
But I now want to draft him, even though he's with Pittsburgh. It's just something
Pittsburgh
about
it's going to be so fun.
Pittsburgh's going to be fun, and I'm telling you, all of this just leads me more and more to Connor Griffin's coming. But again, I've not drafted it. And if it does happen, I'm gonna miss out and wish that I had more. But that's where the back 75. I can focus on getting some more Connor Griffin teams, but I've only got one so far.
Hey,
I would
same.
love Gritchick, by the way. TK11 says Casty, Nick Castellanos. Oh yeah, that's a great call.
Yeah.
They could trade for Nick Castellanos. It took me a minute. I was like, Casty. Oh yeah, they could trade for him. Okay, so Jack Caglione, Kyle Bradish, Joe Ryan.
I know you're a Bradish guy.
I am. And because you just called it out, I'll do it. I'll go ahead and take him. Kyle
You're
Bradish.
welcome.
Let's see. Was he paired at all? He was 18%. Who should I have taken from a rare? I didn't have Cags. I didn't have Jack Caglione with Acuna. That's all right. If I could go back, that's what I would have done just to mix it up. But I'm very happy to grab another Kyle Bradish share. I think he could be a stud. I know a lot of other guys that are in this chat and drafting in this room are right there with me. But we're going to keep it quiet for everyone else. So, Dave, if you're listening, Kyle Bradish sucks. Don't look at drafting him. So, who Dave Isaacs is, Blake? So you know how I always talk about the Benton league that I'm in, the
Oh yeah.
daily points. That's the league that Dave runs.
Oh
So
nice.
yeah, so I love that league, by the way, Dave. It's the only league that I'm in with daily transactions and points, and it keeps me entertained every day. All right, Blake, what you looking at?
Well, I'm torn because there's a lot of pitchers here that I really like, but outfield's getting short up pretty quickly.
It is, as it always tends to do.
So I'm going to take a pitcher and an outfielder. I like Matt Gore, you know that, and Texas Matt Gore could be really good. Matt Gore and then in Texas,
Oh,
he could do some numbers.
I like how you just keep calling him Mac Gore, or yeah, like I've not heard you call him that before. I like it, Mac Gore.
Matt Gore. And then I'm going to take a flyer on Cruz to bounce back because, I mean, that kid's just got a lot of speed and some good contact. So I expect him to do better than what he showed us last year.
Yep, we've had a lot of discourse back and forth about Dylan Cruz, and I'm a fan of him, but I'm a little hesitant. I'm like a 10% guy, but I'm willing to click his name 1 out of 10 drafts. So I'm right there with you, and like I'm in on him, but I'm not fully back in on him. You know what I mean? But I recognize his elite potential because of how good of a prospect he is. And Dave, sorry, what can I say, bud? What can I say? You have a super fun league that keeps me in it every day. I can't help but win. Come on. So, man, it's sad seeing the little injury thing next to Spencer Schwellenbach as we're reaching this round here. I'm like, dun 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 dun. Brr. That sucks. It is what it is. We're gonna have a lot more of that as we come along. You know, what
Oh,
do
yeah.
I always say to you, Blake? We got to expect the unexpected, right? Like
And,
we know that crazy things are gonna happen all year long.
and we know assuredly before spring training's done, we're going to see 10 or 12 more injuries pop up that we're just like, really? And
Oh,
so,
maybe tomorrow. I hope not. But yeah, bro, it's gonna happen.
yeah.
It's gonna happen so much. I want to ask you something. So you're a real big WBC guy,
Yeah.
and the other day, I was drafting, and this was brought up, and we were talking about the WBC. Hold on a second. It's my pick. What do I want to do? Someone grabbed Varsho. Who got? Oh, Joe. Joe, you got him the pick before me. Oh, gut punch.
That hurts.
Oh crap. That you got me, and you got me flustered and on tilt, and I tilt pick Blake Snell. Well, it is what it is.
Hey,
It
at
is what
least
it
he's
is.
good still.
I mean, yeah, but he's kind of hurt too. There's the like, and he's always hurt, but at least with him, it's not like terrible. And I guess now I have 2 Dodgers and whatever it is, what it is. But the pick before
Small stack.
that got me all flustered. I had already started them, and now I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking?
WBC.
WBC. Thank you. So the question was brought up like, do you think like guys are more apt to be injured or to have bad seasons because of the extra pressure or the extra innings or the extra work that they'd have from the WBC? And and I was bringing up, like I don't really think so, but I hadn't really seen a lot of data. I know that you like read stuff about the WBC all the time and whatnot. Have you seen anything about this, or what do you think? Do you think, like, do you fear I know the answer. You don't fear WBC players, but what's your general thoughts on that question?
So ideally, to me, like in my opinion, the guys that show up from the WBC, if they've gotten a full run through the tournament, they're normally pretty good to go. They're loose, they're fresh, they've been playing high intensity baseball. They're not affected too much. I found some numbers that I thought were pretty interesting. I mean, pitchers that throw in the WBC miss an average of 4 games more during the regular season, and position players miss less than 1 day on average more because of the WBC. So
say that one more time. Say that one more time. I want to hear that again.
Yeah. So position players, they miss on average. It's 0.82 additional days more because of the quote WBC curse. Pitchers miss an average of 4.07 more days due to injury because of the WBC. So you're talking about
maybe they miss a start, like for pitchers, that's a start, and maybe again a start for hitter. But that's like an average number. Yeah. Who are like the big injuries I thought of were like the Edwin one. We talked about that. And then the Jose Altuve getting hit in the pitch or hit by a pitch in the hand. Has there been any other big injuries that you can remember?
Big ones, not really. I mean, 2017, Drew Smiley got hurt. That ended up, taking him down for the year. But
Drew Smiley,
Drew Smiley. So last time in 2023, Freeman tweaked a hamstring playing for Canada, but it didn't really cause him to miss a whole lot. So nothing super huge. The big ones are the Edwin and the Altuve, but that's just because those were super big marquee names that just had fluke injuries happen at the absolute worst time.
Yeah. Yep. And Dave said the Edwin Diaz. Yeah, the Edwin Diaz celebration. Blake, it's about to be your pick.
Yep, it is.
You've got a 4-2-4. What are you looking at, my friend?
So I'm going to still stick with taking an outfielder with one of these picks. And then I'm going to swap it up and take an infielder just to add to some depth there.
Mm-hmm.
And my outfielder I'm going with Jung-Hoo Lee.
Yep, your boy.
I love him.
I like drafting him to watch. Too. Yep.
And this guy has been one of my favorite infielders, as you know, for the last decade. I've won a lot of leagues with him, and new scenery, taking Marcus Semien.
Hey, nice. And I love drafting Semien. Yep. TK11 says staring at Schwellenbach at the top makes me sad. Me
and too. This is an NSYNC shirt, Brad. Yep. the original.
You busted out your NSYNC. You're all about the dirty pop, aren't you?
Hey, you're tearing up my heart, Spence. You're killing me.
I know, gosh. So I wanted to ask you this. I'm sure I know the answer to this question, but with the Edwin hurting himself in the celebration, can you remember? Because I immediately thought of one other hitter who hurt himself celebrating back like 15 to 20 years ago. Do you remember a hitter who hurt himself in a game-winning home run?
Oh, Lord.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, you're really throwing one at me here. And as soon as you say it, I'm going to know exactly what you're talking about. But no, I can't think of that off the top of my head on the fly.
Do you remember one Mr. Kendrys Morales?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So Kendrys was my boy. But Kendrys, I think he was on the he was on the Royals at the time. It could have been the Angels, but yeah, he like hit a game-winning home run and then like reaching home plate with his teammates around him, somehow tears his ACL. I don't know how, but it happened. It was something crazy, and then he missed the whole next year. It was a big deal. But
Yeah.
Before we come back to my pick, so I got to tell I don't want to forget about it. And I don't think that Blake's going to stick around for a second draft. So I want to bring this up now. But guys, we're going to get a second draft in after this. I'm thinking we'll jump in maybe a little eliminator. We'll put that up for a vote, see what the chat thinks. So back Blake and I were drafting. This was in 2017, Judge's rookie year. Okay. Wasn't that 2017? Or was that 2018? What was Judge's rookie year? It was one of those.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it was 17. Yeah. I think it was 17. Anyway, Blake was over here at my house, and we were co-owning a draft champions together, and it was a fast draft, so things were happening quick. And
mind you, this is round 41.
Broke his leg, yeah. And then we were in round, we had got to round 41, and freaking Blake, who has this giant man crush on Tim Tebow.
Sure do. Still do.
He can still Tebow, do it. He was like, oh, Tim Tebow's available. Throw him in the queue. Let's take him with the last pick. I'm like, why do we need to? He's like, just put him in the queue. So we put Tim Tebow in the queue. We get to one of our final picks in round 40, whatever. And we're sitting talking, trying to figure out who we want. We're going back and forth. We wait 1 second too late to click the button. And who did we settle on? Tim Mr. Tebow. Aaron Judge is who we were about to pick. We had Aaron Judge on his name, pressed the click, and instead of getting Judge during his monster rookie season, which would have won us that league, instead we got Tim Tebow. And that will never be forgotten. It's always known as the Tim Tebow incident.
And because of it, I'd do it again. Because of it, I'd do it again.
That's the sad part, is you would do it again on purpose. Did you see what I did just then? I jumped it a little, but I went ahead and grabbed Ozuna because I didn't know where he was going to go now. I don't really know where his ADP is going to settle. And that's my first Ozuna share. I definitely want to start getting some more. So mix them in. Mix them in, buddy. I don't know what you think about Ozuna, but I'm sure you like him about just as much as me, which is pretty interested. And again, I had zero interest before. It's just hilarious how that works. Yeah, he's not the best guy. We're not drafting the all ethics team, Brad, but I choose business ethics. All right, what'd you take? I missed it.
So I went with, I have a thing for bloodline guys. And he's a stack piece. So I went Mr. Wilson there, and then followed up with Imai. I really think Imai is going to be great in Houston, and also a stack pair piece with Jose Altuve. So got a little Astros A's going on. A whole lot of A's on my team.
Got a whole lot of A's going on. I like it. A. So let me just throw this out there. Blake really loves bloodlines. I don't know how many times you will draft someone just because they're someone's son. But Jacob Wilson, that's every a good time. Pick. It is a team set. This is every time. This is a really good time. TDK's on here. He says, let's go Oakland. That's right.
Yep. Let's get
Oakland strong, baby. Even though TDK
they're playing
lives in Sacramento. Yeah, TDK lives like what is it, Jason? Like a 15-minute bike ride away from going to the Sacramento games. It's something incredible like that. I told him I'm super jealous. I'd love to go and see the A's play out there. All right, we're doing it. Draft number second time with Ozuna. Stack piece. Connor Griffin. Let's go. Let's go. 20-minute bike ride. Yes, 20-minute bike ride. So close. Going to be so nice. Can't wait.
Spence, that just means we need to take a road trip.
We do. TDK, Blake and I, we might take a road trip out to California. It only takes us about 25 hours.
Hey, but you know what? If we did it, we
know.
could hit like 8 stadiums on the way. We could turn it into a whole week-long thing, and we could hit so many.
I would love to do that. If we don't do that this year, we need to plan that out. Seriously.
We absolutely
TDK
should.
says come out. It's always a blast. I have no doubt. If I am out old California way, TDK, you will be the first person that I call to come visit. I promise you that. I hear they got some internet out old California way. I own so much of the pitchers in this range. Yeah, well, TK11, Schwellenbach's there still. When is Schwellenbach out for the year? What's the actual 60-day right elbow inflammation? Blah blah blah. Shell for the first 2 months minimum. I mean, right elbow inflammation immediately makes me think, oh, he's about to have Tommy John, of course, which is I'm sure what almost everyone is thinking. But I guess it's possible that Schwellenbach is still back for the second half of the year. Brad said he did. It basically is. I mean,
well, and I didn't realize this because
down here,
since they rendered him 60 days, apparently I didn't know this, but the 60-day doesn't start until opening day. It can only be backdated 3 days. So he's for sure out until probably the All-Star break at the earliest.
I'm going to take another piece that I don't draft hardly ever. This is a stacked piece, and I bet that this is one of my few times ever. Let's find out. Ozzy Albies, a guy who I really don't like, but let's see.
Oh, you're a big Albies guy.
I am not a big Albies guy.
Now our buddy Duggar, he's an Albies guy.
He likes him some Albies. So Underdog main slate. Let's see. Bunt three, dinger, bunt two, dinger, 3 dingers. So this is my 4th dinger. 4th Albies dinger. Let's go back to Acuna and let's go see. Did I have Albies with him? Any at all? Did I stack that at all? Yep, I sure have. That's all right. I still am happy with the pick. All right, Blake, what you looking at?
Ooh, I got lots of interesting things I could do here.
You got choices.
One of them's pretty easy for me because, I just really like this guy. So I'm going to take Imanaga as one of my pitchers.
Yep. Blake loves bloodlines. Yep. Blake also loves Asian pitchers. This is very true.
It happens.
It happens.
I'm going to take a swing on this guy. Sorry, it's going to mess up your stack, but I'm going to take some Drake Baldwin.
Hey, that's fine. I wasn't about to take him with the next pick, most likely anyway. But I like Drake Baldwin. I think the Drake Baldwin pick's a good pick. So we were looking at
projected to hit at in that lineup. He could.
I was going to say we just were talking right before we got on live here about how Jonah Heim, which I didn't even bring up in the little news of today, how Jonah Heim signed. TDK, did you see Jonah Heim signed with? By the way, TDK, let me know if my pick is up in our DC that we're in, because we've now switched to that hour clock, and I don't know. I got to be getting somewhat close. Me and him, we've got picks 3 and 4 in the same draft champions that we're in right now. TK11 says he's going to have a season like Bradish did. Who was that in reference to, TK11? I missed that one. We were talking through things. I think I started to say it and then I stopped. Jonah Heim signed with Atlanta. So we were like, so what does that mean for Sean Murphy? Is Sean Murphy, because it was a major league contract. I thought it was a minor league deal. Blake's like, no, I think it was a majors. We looked it up. Oh, Schwelly, he was talking about. Come back at the end of the year like Bradish did last year. No, I'm right there with you. Gotcha. But nonetheless, Jonah Heim, I don't think that he's all that good. He's not worth looking at an underdog. But for our draft champions or deeper leagues, like I'm looking at a catcher 3. He's on my radar now. Okay. Now, obviously, I normally would pick Okamoto here, and I'm going to mix it up. I've been wanting to take some later pitchers, so I'm going to wait. Brad says, is Sean Murphy alive? I don't know.
He is, but he tore a labrum in his hip.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's going to be out a while.
So he could be out a while, or who knows? But
a catcher with a bad hip doesn't sound like something that you want.
No, it really doesn't, does it?
Poor guy signed and got the bag from Atlanta, and I bet they're kicking themselves on that one.
Mm-hmm. So
it just has not played out.
I'm going to stick with kind of like rare things for me, and I'm going to throw a little Pittsburgh trio in here with Brandon Lau, and hope that Connor Griffin plays. But if he doesn't, well, I mean, Brandon Lau has power. It is what it is. If I take Connor Griffin and Ozzie Albies and Brandon Lau on the same team, I know I'm doing something different because I hardly ever click those names. But I like mixing it up and doing something different. And I like doing that here on stream because this way you guys don't have to always see me take the exact same people every time. Joe says, I'll go with Mr. Barger. I have almost none. I like it, Joe. Lock him up. Mr. Bar, and that pairs with your Dalton Varsho, which I have a lot of. Varsho and Barger together. And Okamoto. That's one of the other things about the Blue Jays is they've got a lot of good, like you can stack them later, you know, like other than Vlad or Springer at the top, like you've been able to wait and be able to stack their hitters throughout the draft. And Toronto's amazing. Shocker, in case anyone doesn't know. Joe is like, I already have a lot of Varsho. Yes, but at least you got a Barger with Varsho. All right. Blake, remember when we were on last? We were talking about Jason Dominguez, and I was like, oh, should I be drafting more of him? I've not been. And you were like, oh, well, if Bellinger signs there, then that's not going to be good news for his playing time. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Well, the very next day after we streamed, Bellinger signed there. And since then, our boy, Mr. Goldie, Paul Goldschmidt, is signed there. And now, if you click on Dominguez's name, there's the little note that says could begin season in the minors. And over the last 4 days, that has tanked his ADP. I'm almost to the point of me wanting to click his name, but almost.
Well, the one saving grace he has is they still have Giancarlo Stanton, who unfortunately has very bad legs. So he's more than likely going to miss time. He has every year for the last several. So
yeah.
I mean, the opportunity will be there.
He's probably going to, yeah. Brad says, are we afraid of Paul Goldschmidt for Ben Rice? Don't remember if we discussed this. I think we touched it just a little bit. Brad says he has bad arms, not legs. Well, both, but mainly arms.
Well, either way,
he does have a bad arm.
He's beat up these days.
But yeah, we kind of touched on the Goldschmidt Ben Rice thing, I think, the other day, Brad, just a little bit. But I'll just say my thoughts again. So I ticked down Ben Rice a little bit, but only a little bit. I still think Ben Rice is an absolute stud who could hit a ton of homers. Ben Rice brings back PTSD, Dave says. Well, the thing with Ben Rice is, like I said, he's talking. I think he's referring to our league where I had Ben Rice against him. But Ben Rice, he mashes. So I still want to draft him, and I'm happy to take a round or two fall or dip that he gets because of it. So now I still wasn't drafting him a ton anyway because there's so many good names in that round 7, 8, 9 range. But Ben Rice needs to be one of them. Now, Ben Rice in any league where you actually have catchers and you're playing catcher eligibility, well then, yeah, he's still the only thing for me that this changes, because I already, for my regular catcher league like rankings, I'll just tell you guys. So my catcher 1, of course, Cal Raleigh, duh. I mean, William Contreras, number 2. And then for me, Shea Langelier's been 3. And then Blake and I, we talked about this back months ago, beginning in November, talking about catcher rankings. And when we talked about it back then, one guy that we both kind of settled on looking at his numbers from the season and kind of like, man, we kind of can believe in him is Hunter Goodman. And I've had Hunter Goodman. Now, on Underdog, I would still rather have Ben Rice. I'd rather be attached to Ben Rice. But anyway, I don't know. I actually think I would take Ben Rice and then Hunter Goodman. I would do it that way. But anyway, back in November, we had kind of settled on Hunter Goodman and then Ben Rice. But things change and rankings change. And I am always working through with spreadsheets and rankings on my own. And I don't draft by them, but I like to make them and talk about them. And I may end up doing that on here sometime. Not that I want anyone to follow any rankings of mine or anything like that, but just talk about my rankings the way I think about players. And just for fun, just do that on a video that I just released randomly. I might do that. Blake, maybe we do that together because we've had a lot of good conversations in the past of just like me sending you my rankings and then us just talking about it and you being like, well, why did you do this? And then I show you the stat page and we look at it. That would be pretty fun. Dave says, where do you have Herrera? I draft Herrera all the time in Underdog, but in actual catcher rankings, at least as far as NFBC, he does not qualify. So we're coming back around, back to me. So on NFBC, he's only utility, Dave. Now on ESPN, I saw Ivan Herrera still has catcher eligibility. Let's see. What do we want to do here, Blake? What do we want to do here? Any number of fun ways we could go. You know what? I have talked about this guy and haven't done it yet. Let's go with one of our former Cardinals boys with old Harrison Bader, and I'll be a Bader boy. And TDK says your view on Underdog ranks is very informed. I appreciate that, bud. And he says show those pages. Yeah, like my pages that I make, which Blake has seen. I've been showing him Blake's seen my stuff for years. Like Blake's one of my main guys that I send my spreadsheets to because he actually has a computer. Most of my buddies don't sit at computers. Blake does. So I can send them to him and he can actually look at them on his computer. Like Duggar, he's never on his computer. It's always just his phone, which is no problem. Joe also said, hey, he's a phone only guy. But still, it's kind of nice, like for Excel sheets, especially looking at them. But those pages that I have, they're PDF files, so you can open them on a phone. Or if anyone wants any player page breaks down on anyone, I got the email for Best Ball Draft Addicts, which is just bestballdraftaddict@gmail.com. But I've got it in the description. If anyone wants to email that and ask for any players, I'll send you any PDFs of any players. It won't be specific Underdog scoring for those pages, but it will have a lot of best ball information. Dave says send them. There's a lot. I have pretty much every single player. So I was saying if you want to send me a list of some guys, I'll send you a list. Otherwise, it'd be a lot to send them all.
Now, Spence, just as a random trivial note for your Harrison Bader pick, do you remember who his uncle is?
No.
Or I think it's his uncle, Scott Baio.
Oh, really? Charles in charge?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that I knew that.
Yeah.
That's a good piece of trivia. TDK, I've shared those pages with him. He says so much good info. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, TDK, by the way, did you tell me how far are we up before we're back up in that draft? All right. Back to me. So I have a 666. I've got the Devil's build. Let's see what we can do to change that. You know what? Man, this is tough because there's a lot of picks that I'd like to take here. Gosh dang it, Schwellenbach's just staring me in the face. Let's go with Joe Musgrove. I haven't taken him in a long time, and that's another one that's a bit risky, but it's got some upside. Oh, Brad asks you, Blake, The people want to know, what is your favorite NSYNC song? And who is your favorite member not named Justin Timberlake?
So that's super easy. Favorite member not named Justin Timberlake is Joey Fatone. The man's a legend. And favorite song, I could take the chalk and say bye bye bye, but it's easily tearing up my heart. Easily.
It's easily. You're
Back
you're
to
a slow
the
dance.
first album.
You're a slow dance kind of guy. That's what it is.
I mean, that's not that slow of a song.
Okay. In my head, I'm hearing slow song, but it's fine. Maybe it picks up throughout it.
You just need to go listen to it again.
I do. You're right.
In fact, I have a Spotify playlist I can invite you to.
It's been a hot minute.
It's the NSYNC anthology. I got it all.
I was going to say we are. I think I've got at least one of your playlists already on my Spotify. So.
I'm positive you do.
Okay, your last two picks, my friend. Oh, 20 minutes to pick. All right, TDK, thank you. I'll go make that pick.
I'm double tapping outfield, and I'm going to take a gamble on a guy with my last pick just because why not? Surely he's going to bounce back, and I'm going to hope that he can put up some points. And that's one, Mr. Jordan Walker. It's my last pick.
Got you some Slick Willie Castro and Jordan Walker. Well,
yep.
You know, if you hadn't already made a friend with Brad with your NSYNC shirt, I promise you that after that Jordan Walker pick, you've now got a buddy with Mr. Brad. Because did you know that Jordan Walker went to Driveline, Blake? Were you aware?
I did.
I know that you knew, but but yeah, no, that's we were joking about that the other night. But yeah, no, Jordan Walker, why not? I know Dave likes that pick too. Dave, if Dave was in this draft with us right now, I promise you Dave would have fought you for that pick. He may have fought me for the Harrison Bader. I was hoping Dave would get in because I wanted to see how many Cardinals he'd take. He's one of our fellow Cardinals buddies. TK11 says, wait, are you serious? He went to Driveline? Yeah, dead serious, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's just unheard of these days.
All right. So let's see. Who do we want for the last pick? I'll tell you who I want is Royce Lewis. Oh, Blake, did you see the Logan O'Hop at Driveline video of him shirtless batting the other day?
So I missed the video, but I've heard all about it.
Dave says, I hit the wrong group or something first time here. Dave, you tried to get in, and the dinger. This was the dinger. You know what? Stay on. We're going to join another one soon. We will join another one soon. Now, it may be a dinger, maybe a little eliminator. We'll find out. I'm grabbing some J.J. Weatherholt. I'm going with J.J. Weatherholt and Connor Griffin on the same team, assuming the risk and hoping for the upside. Let's go.
Hey, I took Weatherholt with the last one, so. And our very first draft we did together, I took Connor Griffin. So, yeah, you're in good company.
Hey, and they're very, very few shares for me. So, okay. So we are about done with this draft. That was awesome. Super fun. Blake, I want to do a team recap. If you want to stay on, I'm going to do a little team breakdown, and then we're going to jump in. Yeah. Real quick, though, because I'm not going to make this long, but let me do this real fast here because TDK just told me that, yep, I have 16 minutes to pick in my DC. Let me do that real quick, and I'll share that with you guys. You guys can see me make this pick here.
I tell you what, I got Underdog's projections down for football, but for baseball, they do not like my teams.
Not so much. Well, guess what, bud? What do I always say? Don't ever look at projections. Okay, so this is pick 477. Who just went? Joshua Baez. Cardinals prospect. Tristan Casas, Hogan Harris. Yeah, this is where we're at, guys. This is where we're at. Not exactly the best. Let me refresh the draft board real quick. I just want to look and see. I'm only going to do this for just a second, guys. I just want to get an idea here. Okay, so Sean Murphy, Dalton Rushing, Higashioka. I only have 2 catchers. That's why I was thinking about going back to catcher here. You see, I've got like Goldschmidt, Charlie Condon. I've got several people in my queue, some prospects. Blaze Alexander. Yohan Moncada is sneaky. Yeah, you see like David Hamilton, who just got traded to Milwaukee. That could be some late stinky steals. Probably shouldn't be sharing my whole queue, but that's all right. Oh boy, look at catcher, Blake. Oh, catcher's gross.
Hey, well, I'll tell you right there, the guy your cursor's on. No, not him. Above him. Pedro Pages is projected to be the Cardinal starting catcher, with Herrera being the DH.
Yeah, but Herrera's going to play, and there's no way. I mean, Pedro Pages, look, his numbers were just as good as Jonah Heim's, better actually, because of better batting average. But I just can't do it. Look, there's Jimmy Crooks. Jimmy Crooks could also end up getting work. Plus, there's Yoel Pozo, wherever he's at, and they signed him too. The Cardinals just have so many catching options. Joe Mack and Liam Hicks is interesting. I saw Liam Hicks is on someone's in WBC. I think I'm just going to go Jonah Heim. And we were talking about him earlier. I don't want to make this long. Let's just lock up Jonah Heim. All right, TDK, now you can pick over there. Okay, let me get this off the screen. Get the draft board back up here for Underdog. All right. And we're back. Okay. Real quick. Oh, TDK says I was going to do that. You got me again. Sorry, bro. We were just talking about him. And Brad, this is Brad's first 677. Julian, a WBC star too. Yeah, that's I put I'm sure you saw Edward Julian in my. Yeah, Julian is in Colorado. He got traded to Colorado. He's in my queue for later as a potential guy there. Okay. All right. I don't want to take a bunch of time, but I do like going through our teams. So Brad got his first 677. And I'm going to talk about who was in the chat talking. So Brad, Logan Gilbert, Freddie P, Yuri, Chase Burns, Jose Castillo, Zach Gallen. Really good, really dependable with the upside in the middle of Yuri and Chase Burns. Super dependable at the top, super dependable at the bottom. Dependable innings, I mean, quality, we'll see, but very dependable innings. So, yeah, really like that staff. That's a good staff to just go 6 with. And then Pete Alonso, Trey Turner, William Contreras, Okamoto, Rutschman. I know you like Rutschman. Carlos Correa. You got another Correa. You're keeping that 25% thing going. Jake Berger, Shohei, Roman Anthony, Yelich, Adolis, your boy Blake Adolis.
Love him.
Willier Abreu, Sal Frelick, and Justin Crawford. Hey, Blake, you love bloodlines. You do know that Justin Crawford is Carl Crawford's son, right?
I'm aware.
Why didn't you pick him then? You'll let Brad steal him right from under you. You took Jordan Walker.
I got to save some stuff up my sleeve for later draft spins.
I know you do. I'm just playing. All right, Joe. So let's see. Joe went with a 677. Skubal, Pavetta, Bibee, Rodon, Joey Cantillo, Bailey Ober. All right, Joe. I love you, buddy. This is a very risky pitching staff, but you got Skubal at the top. I don't know how much I love this staff with taking 7 with having Bailey Ober, who I just don't believe in, although he's a bounce back candidate. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And Rodon, hopefully we don't have any bad news and Rodon will be back soon. And I think Joey Cantillo is a breakout candidate. I love that. But it's just, I would have wanted one more, I think. Anyway, though, Junia, Cattell, Perdomo, Vinny P, Yonde, Barger, Aranda, Corbin Carroll, Stowers, Varsho, Doyle, Lyle, Beck, Simpson. I've made my thoughts on Simpson very known, but it was a part of a Tampa Bay stack. So again, the only thing I will say about Simpson, because I'm not drafting him, if I'm Tampa Bay stacking with an outfielder at the end in this exact build, I personally am going Cedric Mullins. Again, I could be way wrong. I just would rather have the power than a guy who has none. Maybe Chandler Simpson's going to hit 315,
Fastest
320
kid alive.
and steal 80 bases and make me look like a dang fool. And if so, that's fine. Yeah, fastest kid alive. It's very, very possible. I mean, I don't need much more to make me look like a fool, but why not? Let's throw Chandler Simpson in the mix. All right, TK11 776, the popular build that I always like to do. Framber, Joe Ryan, Sandy, Nola, Jack Leiter, Bubik, Logan Henderson, all guys that I love to pick. I have not taken Logan Henderson. That's an interesting one. I know that's one of those rookie arms that I've just not looked at the end. But you got double Hendersons, I see. I don't think there's relation, but
if that be true, Brad, that man is he needs to be drafted everywhere.
What do you say? I'm looking. I'm not
he
looking
said he said Chandler Simpson is a bloodline player. Jessica Simpson's his sister.
I don't think that's true. That sounds a story like that's got to be true.
It's got to be.
Oh, he's dropping chandeliers on everyone's head. All right, Gunnar Henderson, Jazz Chisholm, Josh Naylor, Jackson Holiday, Christian Walker, Max Muncy, Jorge Polanco, Tucker, Arozarena, Bellinger, Lou Bob, Colton Cowser, Cam Smith. Not a lot of stack throughout, but I love this team. Top to bottom, I think this is a really good team.
That's a fun team.
Yep, really good team, TK11. And then Blake, let's take a look at yours. Blake went with a 767.
Sure did.
You just had to do that.
I had to.
Logan Webb, Max Fried, two of almost the same guy, lefty and righty. I love that. Last year at this time, I thought that Framber Valdez was the exact same person as Logan Webb, only left-handed. This year, it feels like Max Fried is more that guy. And then DeGrom, McKenzie Gore, love taking the double Rangers. Blake, if only you could have added Jack Leiter in there and got that third. And Jack's your boy.
I know.
Yeah,
man, he's a bloodline
nice
guy.
Tetsuya Imai, Shota Imanaga, and Andy Abbott. That's a Duggar boy right there. So
it is.
Ellie, Kurtz, Simeon, Jacob Wilson, Drake Baldwin, Brendan Donovan, Soderstrom. Oh, I missed the Brendan Donovan pick. I like that. Soderstrom, Taylor Ward, Jose Altuve, Dylan Cruz, Jung Ho Lee, Willie Castro, and Jordan Walker. Yeah, that's a good, solid team, Blake. How'd you feel about it?
I mean, I like the way it turned out. I think that there's a lot of potential with it, and there's a lot of question marks too. I took some gambles, but I mean, that's why I went with 7 outfield, just because it's not as top heavy. But I feel like there's a lot of depth there. And the infield
decided to do the Ellie Kurtz thing at the top, but yeah.
And the infield, I mean, I love the infield. So, and then that pitching staff could be great. It could also not be. So I went 7 just in case there's an injury. I know I've talked about it on the last time I was on the show. I always run in at the end of the year. I'll have a team make it to 3 rounds into the playoffs, and I'm 2 pitchers down or 3 pitchers down. So I feel like you can't have enough arms. So that's why I decided to take a 7th starter there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Okay, and then we'll close out with my team, and then we'll get joined in another. And Blake, if you need to hop off here, that's cool. Hey, guys, while I'm going through my team, put in the chat, do you want to do another dinger, or should we jump in and do a little eliminator and talk about a different strategy? All right, so my team, a rare Yamamoto team with Chris Sale, Kyle Bradish, Blake Snell, the panic Blake Snell pick, but that's all right. I'll take it. Trey Savage, Shane McClanahan, and Joe Musgrove. Did you hear the McClanahan news that came out a day or two ago, Blake?
No, I missed that.
It was a positive news. It just basically said that he's going to be ready for start of training or for camp. So he's going to be out there healthy and pitching to start. Now, will that last? We'll see. He's not pitched in 2 years, but I've been taking him more recently, and I still want to try to grab some more shares while his ADP's down here around 200. Because I promise you, if we see McClanahan actually like a video of him out pitching healthy, I guarantee you his ADP will shoot up.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Joe Musgrove, same thing. I'm sure his ADP will shoot up too if we fully see him healthy.
And you left me hanging when you picked Joe Musgrove. I threw out that's what's in.
Oh, I missed that.
And you just left me hanging on it.
Sorry, bro.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, there is a really hilarious video. What was it, 2 years ago, Spence, or was it 3 years ago now?
The
Padres were in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and there was this group of guys that did this song called "That's What's In," and it's terrible and hilarious. So anytime I see a Padre, I just think of that song.
And may have single-handedly caused them to lose the playoffs too, from negative internet juju.
If your creativity is that bad, you deserve it.
Now, my infield is not great, but it's upside laden with Connor Griffin and JJ Weatherholt. But Mookie and Gino Suarez at the top are pretty good. Jeremy Pena is a good, solid pick. We'll see what Albies does. But now that I see that ADP fall, that was a really good ADP fall for Albies. And yeah, you see his ADP is 148. I got him at 173. And then my outfield is good. Like I'm a big fan of my outfield, even though the bottom three are kind of risky. Man, that top three are nice with Acuna, James Wood, and Jarren Duran. Now, I don't take a lot of Wood. I do take a lot of Duran. I do take a lot of Trout. Again, it's my first Ozuna, maybe my first Bader of the Dinger. It's first or second. But nonetheless, I'm very happy with that team. So what have people said in the chat? Let me get caught back up here. Let's see.
TDK agrees that video is very cringe.
Oh, yes. Mega cringe. Yeah. Joe says, good night, guys. I'm done for the night. It was fun. Every time, all right. I love it. Every time I draft Machado, I say to myself, man, he's going to cruise.
Love it.
That's so great. That's so great. Okay, well, no one's really gone on here and said what they prefer. So, since no one has said what they prefer, I say let's do a little eliminator. I've not done one yet. Blake, you can hang on for as long as you want, my friend. But if you need to jump off at any time, I know you were going to meet up with your lady friend tonight. So if you need to, hop off. But it's been a pleasure. That was a great draft. I loved having you on with me again tonight.
For sure. As fun as always, and we'll do it again soon. Got to go get the kiddo stuff ready for tomorrow's day at school and see what happens after that. So
okay,
I'll holler at you later on, man.
Okay. No, that sounds good. Well, buddy, yeah, you have a great one.
Yeah. Take it easy. Good night, everybody.
Okay, bye. All right. So Brad says sitting with two more, may want to wait. Yeah, we'll wait. So Dave, are you still on? Dave Isaacs, are you still on? So if you are, come on here and say something so that I know, because what we're going to jump in now is the little eliminator. So we're going to give this another. You are. Okay, cool. So do you see where it says the little eliminator? It's a $5 entry. So go ahead and click on that. 30 seconds per pick. We're going to do a countdown and say 1, 2, 3, enter. We're going to do that here in a minute. We're going to give it another like 2, 3, 4 minutes to make sure that it fills with who's waiting there, so that we don't like go to join and then boom, the thing fills, because I want to get a chance for anyone that's on here that wants to jump in. So while we wait, I want to go back through and look at some of the comments that I missed while I was going through stuff here. Let's see here. Joe says, wanted to stack Tampa Bay, my first or second 6-7-7. Yeah, I know you don't do a lot of those. Not everyone is off Chandler Bing Simpson. No, I know. A lot of people are drafting Chandler Simpson. I can't wait to see that one play out. I really can't. Brad says, love these Texas pitchers. Absolutely. I'm really hoping that Jack Leiter is a breakout pick this year. Said Modern, though, I'm taking him, but a little worried. Yep. That video is so mega cringe. Yep. Cost him the playoffs. Sitting with two more. Dave says, I sent you a screenshot. Is that right? Well, I hope so. Yes, sir. That is right. Me too on Lighter Rocker. Any thoughts? I was all aboard Kumar Rocker last year at this time. And well, okay. I say I was all aboard. I guess I wasn't all aboard because it's not like I was drafting him at a high percent. But in my mind, I was all prepped for Kumar Rocker to be a breakout last year. I just haven't seen anything good enough from him yet to think that Kumar is going to actually work out. By the way, I wonder if we should go ahead. 737 was current entrance with 3 left. I wonder if we should go ahead and join in because I don't want to wait too long and then it get back down low again. I don't know exactly how quick this little eliminator is filling because I've not drafted today. So if anyone wants to gamble, Dave, not you, but if anyone else wants to gamble and see if it's filled and if we should go ahead and join, let me know. But yeah, so I'm not on Kumar Rock this year. If I was so like in this DC that I'm doing, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't take him in a 50 round draft and hold. But in most leagues, he's someone that I wouldn't look at drafting at all. And I would just keep my eye on the waiver wire if there is a waiver wire. But for Underdog, I will never draft him. Oh, Brad says I joined and it filled. Oh, well, you know what? I'm sure you wouldn't mind. You told me earlier, Brad, that you're going to probably do 150 of these. So let's go ahead and everyone who's on, Dave, anyone else who wants to, go ahead and click join. It's saying 10 more. And Brad, why don't you double up? Do 2 at once. Live a little, my friend. It's $5. It's $5. Make it happen, Captain. All right. So 8 more. Now, before we get too far, I want to quick take a bathroom break. So give me just a minute, guys, and I will be right back with you. I wonder, you know what? I'm going to try. I want to try something. I've never done this because I normally don't take a break, but we've got a minute here and I got to pee. So I think I can put on background music while I'm gone. What should we do? Acoustic cinema, daydreaming into space. Let's do into space. Oh boy. Well, this I'm sure is great. I'll try to make this quick. All right, I'm back. Let's get that music off there. Hope that wasn't terrible. Let's see here. Yeah, elevator music. Yeah, waterfalls. I should have picked waterfalls. You always got to feed the ducks. This AI beat is 3 to expire. 5 more for a little limit. Okay, yeah, we're at 5 more. Okay, so, let me make sure I'm unmuted. Okay, yeah, I'm unmuted. All right, so I want to talk about this before we get started. This draft is different than the Dinger. I'm sure that most of you guys in here have done an eliminator before, know what this tournament is, but I want to talk about it for a second for Dave or anyone else new. I know Dave is new to Underdog. So, Dave, this tournament is a tournament that once we draft, so once we do this draft together, we are only going to be competing against the other 12 people in this room for the first 2 weeks of the season. So the eliminator runs in 2 week windows, and you are first. It's the 12 of us. Now, I've not gone through all the rules, so Brad or anyone else who's in here who wants to enlighten me if I'm wrong about any of this, but this is at least how it generally has been in the past. So you're in this pot of 12. You have to finish in the top half in the first 2 weeks. So you have to finish in the top 6 out of 12. Kind of like the football one you told me. Yeah, football was a little different. They did football this year where a lot of times where it was head to head, where you were going against one person. I don't think baseball is going to be this way, because baseball, you're generally in a 12-person group. You have to finish in the top half to move on. That will change some throughout the year. If you hit the little I on the app, and then once you hit that, and then if you go into, it'll say tournament schedule, you'll see round 1, weeks 1, 2, round 2, weeks 3, 4. So you have to move on. So these teams that we're drafting could be done by week 2 if you don't finish in the top half. And then if you go on down to the all rules, it'll actually break down and tell you each week, each 2 week matchup, where you have to be and how many groups of people you're going to be in each time as you move along through the season, because I know that will fluctuate. I don't think it's 12 every time. But that's what you have to do. So you have to draft these a little bit different, right? Like you want to draft a little bit more for floor. And what I mean by that is I will swing for the fences a lot of times. Like I'm totally happy taking my out so much in the dinger contest or some of the higher dollar contests. But in this contest, where you have to advance week by week, I'm probably not going to take as much as someone like Trout. Now, I want to use a different player like Eugenio Suarez, who I just took on the last team. So Eugenio is also a pop week guy. Eugenio can be flat out terrible on weeks, and then Eugenio can crush weeks. But Eugenio is almost as dependable as it comes, as far as like a guy who will stay healthy and be a dependable bat every week. So with Eugenio, I think he still is a good pick for the eliminator tournaments, even though you would think, oh, well, maybe not because he's such a pop week play. But I still think he's a good pick because you have to still finish in the top part of your league. Brad says, I don't know what to do exactly, but from what I understand, P is actually not bad, I think. And then Dave says, so Tyler O'Neill got it. Yeah, totally. Tyler O'Neill. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm glad you're on the right page with me. But, so that's kind of the way I think about it. I want to have, I think there's 2 ways you can look at it. I like to spend up on pitcher in the tournaments, usually at least 1 or 2 pitchers relatively early, because I like to have some studs. I think I'm more comfortable pushing it and going with, like, if I had Sonny Gray as my pitcher 1, going with guys that I think are more like Luis Castillo, I would want even more in this. But again, it's like I've tried. Again, I'd be happy if anyone else wanted to come on and talk about this, but I've tried to draft some of these in the past, like more conservative, but that doesn't always work. And because like I said, you still have to finish. So you still want to get some pop plays. That still matters. It's just about how you mix those guys in. And it's a jigsaw puzzle game that we play. Brad says every time period is 2 week scoring, and you can't capitalize on 2 week starts as much. Yeah. So that's a great point. Like you're not going to, it's not something that you have to focus on. Like, oh, I have to have 2 start pitchers. I just think more than anything, dependability of innings is the most important thing. I see we're still sitting at 5 more. I guess this has not been filling as fast as the others. This is day one of this tournament. It just launched today, so there's probably a lot of people that still don't even know that it's here. But I'd really like to stay in this and do this draft with you guys. I hate to just keep waiting and waiting, while I know that people are kind of ready to get going. But yeah, that's my general thoughts with the Eliminator, is that I think that the best thing is just to try to be as risk adverse as possible whenever it comes to injuries and injury guys, but you still want to try to mix in a proper balance of high elite players with floor players. Like you want to maybe have, I want to say, let's say you do a 6-7-7, for instance. Maybe you don't want to draft Connor Griffin or JJ Weatherholt, guys that maybe won't play for the first couple months theoretically. I probably don't want any Garrett Cole or Zach Wheeler in these, because by the time they come back, your team could already be bounced. I mean, you could be bounced at the end of the first 2-week period. So again, all of us drafting this team together, we won't be together after the first 2-week period. So if there's 6 of us in this, all 6 of us could theoretically advance. Now it says waiting for 6 people to fill. We had someone drop out. Well, we've never had to wait like this for the dinger. We've always been able to pop the dingers just like this. We'll give her a couple more minutes. And then you guys let me know if this ends up not filling. I tried hitting up Discord, no luck. Yeah, thanks, Brad. Appreciate that, buddy, for you trying. Yeah, like I said, I really wanted to do Eliminator and talk this draft out, but I say we'll give it another like five minutes or so, and then if nothing, then we can just call it for the night. I'll stay in it, but we don't have to just sit here keep waiting on the stream for it to fill. But one thing we can do while we're waiting is I could go back and share some more of this awesome exposures tool. MLB Exposer. Add the stage. All right. So, Brad, tell me someone to look up here, bud. Tell me someone to look up, and I'm going to go see who I've mixed with them just for the sake of it. Again, this is the full dinger slate here. So, you know what I want to see? I want to see Judge. So, I want to see who I've done with Judge. So, when I've got Judge, Scooble paired with him once. I got a Churio, Skeens, Cal Raleigh, Pete Alonso. So I've liked this power thing of Cal Raleigh and Pete Alonso with Judge. I've not taken Roman Anthony with Judge, which is funny since I've taken him so much with Ohtani. There's Crochet. So Scooble and Skeens are the ones I've taken more than Crochet with Judge. I've taken Jaron Duran with him, Wyatt Langford with him. And then let's see here. In this round, so I've reached on Belly before. Ian Happ Springer. I kind of like I love this color scheme of being able to just pop out with who I like to draft with him the most. So a lot of my Jazz teams are with Judge. I know that because whenever I did my 50 drafts exposures, I only had one Judge then and no Jazz. And since then, I've been able to get some more Judge and some Jazz with that. Here's Ben Rice down here at 33%. So here, I see I really mix a lot of these same guys up. It's a lot of these same people: Buxton Nimmo, Cease Naylor, Sale Stowers, Logan Gilbert, Altuve, Reagans, Larry Butler, Hunter Brown, Logan Webb. You definitely see how I'm not afraid to go with these pitchers in this range at all. There's a Santander, 33% with Judge. out of those, just a couple of Santander. That means whenever he wasn't stacked with a Blue Jay, I stacked him with Judge, apparently. Jacob Marcy, Jacob DeGrom, double Jacobs back-to-back here in round 8. Joe Adell. This is very interesting. So Trent Grisham, again, this is one that I pretty much only pick with Judge. I rarely pick Trent Grisham otherwise. Let's go main slate. Grisham. Yeah, I only have 1.8%, 5 teams. And let's see, that was a bunt 3. That was a dinger, bunt 3, and dinger. So I have 2 dinger shares with him and 100% stack. So they're both with Judge. Let me come back over here. And then let's see what we got here. Brad says Okamoto, because you do him a lot. Yeah, I'll check him out. How much is he unstacked? How concentrated are you on stacking a late guy like that? I notice I do it a lot. And then Dave says, thoughts on May? I think he was a good cheap signing. Yeah, Dustin May. I'll start with Dustin May. So yeah, Dustin May, I personally, I agree. I think he was a good cheap signing for the Cardinals with almost no risk involved and some upside. I mean, yeah, he's probably going to get hurt again. Dustin May's hurt like every time that he pitches. But what if? What if he doesn't? It didn't cost them hardly anything, and they're not committed to him. So I was all aboard that signing because at least he offers true upside. Like Dustin May has a great arm. He has filthy stuff. But I would not pick Dustin May in the Eliminator tournament just as to throw it to Underdog. I wouldn't take him in the Eliminator tournament, but I have nothing against taking him in the Dinger tournament, a bigger tournament where not very many people are going to have him and you could throw him in at the end. And if he hits late, especially later in the season, where a late pick like that that's not very much drafted could hit so well is in the playoffs. Because if not very many advancing teams have him, that really, because during the season, it doesn't really matter how many people have him. What matters is how many people have him that advance. Chris Carpenter was no one when we got him too after he was injury prone. Yeah, very true. I definitely think Chris Carpenter is a different level, but if I could go back all the way in time whenever the Cardinals got Chris Carpenter, yeah, I mean, I think about it, I didn't have a very I do remember thinking that Chris Carpenter and Roy Halladay, who came up around the same time, were similar as pitchers. Carpenter was up first, but yeah, no, Carpenter, man, I miss Carpenter though. 2003, gosh, that was a long time ago. We're old. And then to go back to what Brad said, so Okamoto. All right, so here's my Okamoto. So on the main slate, 63 teams, 22% exposure overall, 76% of that stack. That's the main slate. Now, if I change this to, how do I get just the dinger on this page? I'm not fully, I thought I changed it to 25. Well, regardless, this shows right here. I mean, so, and it's kind of funny too. You see how much, so this is back beginning of January, how much I was taking Okamoto, and then how that sort of slowed down here over this last like 10 days or so. It's definitely slowed down as his prices started to increase. So that is something. I'm going to go to this timeline thing here. Eliminator. No. Main slate. This is a cool, like, it shows like the ADP gains and losses based off of your draft. This is pretty sweet. And then if you click on your team, you can see what that team was and what your ADP gains and losses were. So like this one, for instance, this was has been an ADP gain. So I got him at pick 192 and his ADP is now 189.6. This is something that I actually wanted to point out here. Let me go back to this players thing and click on Varsho and show that main slate. So look at this ADP gain loss. This is big, and this is a big thing. You see, like back in the way too early slate, whenever I was drafting Varsho all the freaking time, 38% of my teams. When I did that, my ADP was 153.2. And it even finished by the end of the way too early slate at 146.4. So I had a positive ADP of 6.8. So I was taking him way later than what he ended up going. Like here's one where I reached on him the most right here. That's pretty cool. But of the main slate, yeah, like it's even better because my ADP for Dalton Varsho is 142, whereas his current ADP is now 127. So where I've been getting him has been, these are the high picks. These must be the low picks. Yeah. Here's pick 162. That looks like that was the lowest that I got him on January 20th. That was in the bunt too. So that wasn't even a dinger. Here's a dinger pick 156. But yeah, back here, what was this one? Oh my gosh, look at this. Back on December 3rd, it's one of the very first teams, and I got him at pick 190. Oh my gosh. Crazy. So ADP board. So let me see. Go back here and it says you're more looking for the combos to see if you're very concentrated and stack. More looking for the combos to see if you're very concentrated. Oh, okay. Yep. Let's go ahead and check that out. Well, guys, after I do this, we may end up just calling it. And Dave, if you want to just stay in the room, or anyone else wants to stay in the room, I'll stay in the room until it fills. But I don't know that I'm going to stay on here. And well, because it's now at 7 more. Okay, so here's my Okamoto Dinger teams. So yeah, let's see what we can take away from this. I'm going to look at the people that I've got a lot of. Otani, Skeens, Crochet, and Springer. I've got this line right here is a very popular line for me. So let's see here. I see I've got Vlad at 18%. I was wondering, like specifically with Vlad. Nimmo, Buxton. No Logan Webb teams with him. That's interesting. Trout 18%, Chris Sale 22%. So I had 7.4 of Santander. Man, I'm glad I wasn't taking a bunch of Santander with these stacks. That makes me feel a whole lot better because I was second guessing it. Brad, I think was it me and you that were talking about Santander the other day? I think it was. And how I was saying, man, yeah, I need to start drafting more of him. If so, Brad, what's your Santander exposure, by the way? DeGrom, very random. Yeah, DeGrom is very random. Oh, yeah, 40% Springer. Yeah, I right past that. Yeah, I definitely when I take Springer, I get Okamoto a lot. It is random, DeGrom, but I know I like to mix in. Texas pitching is one of my higher pitching. So in the dinger from Texas, yeah, DeGrom, Jack Leiter, Eovaldi, and then Gore's getting up there. I wasn't drafting Gore until he went to Texas. And I loved Gore last year, but then I was kind of out on him. Now I'm immediately right back in. Let's go back to the ADP board here. Oh, it changed. I guess you can't move tabs. All right. So yeah, Varsho, I've got a lot of Varsho teams with Okamoto. Any other random ones? Jung-Hoo Lee, Kerry Carpenter, Bubba Chandler, Imai. Not surprised. These are guys I like to take a lot. William Contreras. So when I get Okamoto, yeah, I definitely like to get Barger with him. I'll take a lot of Ivan Herrera. Dave, I take a lot of Ivan Herrera. I'm definitely very in on Ivan Herrera this year. I love him down here late. Max Muncy. I'm glad I don't have more Shane Bieber than that. Some interesting like Jake Berger, Jorge Polanco. See, I don't have Royce Lewis with him much. That's interesting. Alec Boehm. I've taken a lot of Boom. This is the dinger period, 16%. That could be way wrong. I'm definitely wanting to switch this number more to some other people, especially the Carlos Correa pick, which we talked about the other day. Brad, I really want some more Correa down here in this low area of last picks. But I like Royce Lewis and Max Muncy and Ivan Herrera so much. I mean, they're a big portion of these final picks. And then you see, I do mix it up with a lot of these guys, but Polanco's 12% because I do like to stack the Mets. That's why he's as high as he is. I faded on Noelvi Marte on this. I was more in on him early. Let's go see exactly. Yeah, so the way too early, look at this, the way too early slate, I was definitely picking him a good amount. And then I had a little lull, went right back to picking him. But I had 11% exposure in the way too early. But of the main slate here, yeah, I'm really not taking him. There's 1 dinger, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see what we got here. Same with me on Marte. Yeah, and I really love Marte. Had a lot in the bullpen, like 28 of 150. Oh, yeah, Santander, I'm assuming you mean there. Rest if I just draft, I will end up with under 5%. Wasn't hurt on Schwelly or Bieber at all. Posted all my stuff on Twitter for injuries. Yeah, I'll check that out. Wasn't hurt on Schwelly or Bieber at all. Yeah, that is nice. I know that Bieber overall not bad. It's not great. I was more in on him, I think, earlier. Let's see. No, it's about the exact same. So I was 9.5% exposure in the early and 9.5% exposure in the main slate. There's a bunt, bunt 2, bunt 2, bunt 2, dinger, bunt 3, dinger, and dinger. Yep. And then who was that other one with Bieber that you just said? It was, Schwelly. Now that one I know is going to hurt me more, which is all right. It is what it is. Oh, gosh, I took him on an eliminator team. Ugh, gross. I have only done 3. I should not have done that. Way too early, 22%. Main slate, 22.8%. So I've been right at that exact percent of 22 with him. This will obviously crater. Look, I was already not picking him near as much. Like, look at this. Since January 28th, I've only taken him in a bunt 3, 1 dinger. What's this? 2 dingers. So 2 dingers since January 28th. So, and I'm drafting multiple every day. So I had already thankfully slowed myself down, and this number wasn't more like 30%. But it is what it is. Again, I was misreading his injury. I should have looked into that fractured elbow more. In my mind, I had fractured elbow, and I was just thinking he was a comebacker. Brad says I backed out a little eliminator, just wasn't filling. Yeah. I guess that this little eliminator just isn't going to happen. Sorry about that, guys. Well, that is all right. We tried. I'm sure we'll have a chance to do that again in the future. That was fun. But yeah, well, we're almost at 2 hours in, so I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night. But again, thank you for everyone who was here for the night. I had a lot of fun drafting that dinger. Really wish we could have got a little eliminator in there. Brad, thanks for all talking with you in the comics. Dave, I really hope to get you in the next one. At least now you know what you're doing. So yes, the next time that we have a dinger, we'll get you jumped in here. Which the next time, I didn't actually say this at the beginning. So next time will be Saturday night. My buddy Corey is going to be back on here with me, who's been on here with me before as well. I'm really looking forward to have Corey back on. And we're going to go live Saturday night at 9. I think that's Valentine's Day, but you know what? We're going to have some Lonely Hearts Club drafting over here on the Best Ball Draft Addicts, and that is perfectly fine. We'll have fun drafting together. So until then, everyone, thank you so much. And remember, Keep drafting. See you next time. Dave won't be there. Wife will kill me. Next Tuesday, Dave. Next Tuesday. See you guys.